welcome to another episode of Glitter and Garbage, 90210 Hose, Into the Spellingverse, all of the names. What name do you guys like best? What do you like?
I mean, I love 90210 Hose, but Into the Spellingverse I think is good because this is just the tip of the iceberg.
It is, and we could, I mean, obviously this podcast will go on for decades.
Have you ever tried to watch like his 80s stuff, like Dynasty or
I haven't, no.
It's like there's a age gap or something. Like my brain can't get into it.
Yeah. I feel like mine would be the same way.
I would have to start at the beginning, but it's you sort of see why the acting on 90210 is so bad dramatic, and that is kind of a spelling consistency.
Style.
Yeah, his
it's
style.
The spelling style.
Mm-hmm. But what do you like?
I like Into the Spellingverse. 90210 Hose I'm a sucker for a pen.
Well, because we're both 90210
We are. We'll just keep using all the names.
Let it evolve. The show evolves.
The
theme song evolves.
That's why I'm not that married to anything now.
You know what?
We could change.
By the time that their theme song is consistent, that's when you should have a name for this.
Exactly.
There you go. So
totally.
You've got room to move.
We've got a lot of room. That's what I love about this.
Because they don't even do... This was when I noticed they started doing the when they throw a basketball and Jason Priestley catches it.
Yeah.
And they show his name. They do those kind of shots.
Yes. In the intro.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
They start getting into that. But
Yeah,
not
they do.
the...
Oh, we don't have not the turns
My favorite.
with the blue backdrop
And the color reveal.
and the very iconic
Goosh, goosh.
Yeah, I mean that's just the most
later, yeah.
I'm sorry, that sounded terrible, but you guys get what I'm going with.
Dramatic
Thank
about
you.
it. I liked it, yeah.
All right, so this is episode 4 entitled The First Time, and this is the first of many. One of the characters is losing their virginity episodes.
I saw the title and I didn't think they were going to be that literal about it. So when it did happen, I was like, oh, they are going there.
Well, especially because this isn't even the most iconic of all the virginities lost. I would say Brenda and Donna's leaps and bounds over. I didn't even remember that Brandon lost his virginity.
Because don't you know, that's the sexism in all television.
Yes.
It's for a man, it's just another day.
Oh, yeah.
But for a woman, it is a life-changing, pivotal moment.
And the double standard is quite apparent. Jim's reaction to Brandon losing his virginity is very different from Brenda's, as we get to later.
I will challenge you on that at the end.
Okay.
At the end, yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought I couldn't tell what she was giving.
Okay.
At the end of the episode.
Okay.
But I agree with you at first.
Well, I'm just saying compared to how Jim is when Brenda is dating Dylan.
Oh, that.
And losing her virginity.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But I do want to hear your challenge.
I thought you meant the way Brenda was treating Brandon.
No. I mean, Jim, there is a clear sexist double standard.
Oh, in this episode when it's happening, Jim is basically going, oh,
yeah, Jim's fucking go get her.
Yeah, he's like, I'll talk to him in the morning.
Yeah.
After my son has sex
after
for the first
he
time.
fucks.
That's precisely what he
Get
said.
your dick wet, Brandon.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
And the other thing is, it's if I, first of all, had kids, kill me, but if I had kids and I could hear them having sex, I would do something.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to prevent it from happening, but to absolutely fuck with them and prevent them from having sex in my house ever again. I would do, a drive-by, a walk-by, smash plates outside the window.
That's Cindy, basically.
Honestly, the number one boner killer, and I've done this to roommates who are bad in the past, is what you have to do is you have to pick a Tori Amos bootleg, and it has to be specifically from 1994 or 1996 when she's real screamy.
Yeah.
And then you just turn on a Tori Amos bootleg, and then nobody wants to have sex.
Yeah. Oh, no
Yeah,
one.
So that's what I would do to my children in heaven who get to be here yet.
That's smart. I love that. Now I want you to have kids so they can have that.
Did you sneak around like that in your house as a kid?
So this is kind of a funny story. My parents, my boyfriend in high school, my serious boyfriend, who I didn't lose my virginity to him. He lost his virginity to me. But watch out.
So you,
watch out. He lived far away. He lived in 30, 40 minutes away.
Okay.
And in Denver, if you were under 18, there was a curfew. You had to be in by midnight. You couldn't be out after midnight.
Yes.
So his parents would have me sleep. I could stay over there.
You can't be out past curfew.
Midnight, but I would stay in his sister's room.
Oh,
his sister was at college. But my parents...
That is this episode.
No, it is. No, it is.
It's totally this episode.
But my parents just let us stay in my room. They were like, they won't do anything with us in the house. And years later, I'm like, okay.
We did everything.
Yeah, we did everything. Which my parents, I think now they're like, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best idea.
Sure.
But I mean, yeah, we were quiet and chill. We never got caught. But
I had a girlfriend in high school, LOL. Shout out Meg. And my friends, we're still friends. My parents, I think, were honestly so thrilled or shocked that I had brought a girl home in any capacity.
Yeah.
I could be in the room with like the door closed and they would knock before they came in. My parents would.
Oh my God, so polite.
Because I think they were just like, please, like let it happen.
Yes.
Not let him fuck, but like let him be straight.
They were Jim. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
They're like, please let him be straight.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, like, sure, you want a girl in your room? Go.
Yeah,
Close the door.
Go,
turn the music up. We can't hear a thing.
Yeah, use protection or don't,
totally.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We love grandchildren. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were just elated that it wasn't a band.
That's so funny.
Even though that was going on.
Yeah.
But no, anyway, so
I also have friends coming over to spend the night.
But they never, I was always, that surprises me that they would let you stay because of the curfew issue.
Yeah, well, he lived like 30, 40 minutes away, you know?
You would be breaking the law.
We'd be breaking the law. We had to be under wraps, but also here's my thing is like, kids are gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like what are we gonna do it in a car?
Precisely.
It's like then you could get arrested.
Well, then it would be a curfew ticket and like indecent exposure.
Exactly. Have I fucked in a car?
No. Have you gotten a ticket for indecent exposure?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Who hasn't fucked in a car?
Oh yeah, everyone's fucked in a car. It's not great, but
are you kidding? I'm 6'3". It's awful.
Oh my God, that must
it's
my
fucking awful.
My boyfriend in high school was 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So it was not, and I had a Jetta. So do that math. Wasn't great.
I don't want to say multiple times, but the times I've had sex in a car, every single time I'm like, who is this for?
Oh,
yeah. Who is enjoying this?
The last time I really hooked up in a car, it was. This is so gross to admit. It was with a comic, and it was when I was like 24, and it was outside of the Improv. And
oh my God!
Like I just remember my ass was like on the window. Yes. Like it was just bad. Yeah. I was like, what am I doing? Like I'm an adult. We have homes.
Yes.
Yeah. But when you're a
bills.
kid. The second time I ever hooked up with a guy was in the like Christian bookstore parking lot.
God, yes.
Like we left the club to go hook up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the car. Listen, no shade.
Yeah. Hey, I hooked up in a Victoria's Secret dressing room in high school.
Now see, that is fun. That shit. Yes, that I love.
Yes, yeah. I was creative. I was Tiff. I was a bad girl.
You're such a Tiff.
I was such a Tiff.
Stealing. Oh my God.
I will say none of the characters are like the bad one. You know what I mean? It's only the guest stars that are the bad ones.
Because they can't have a fatal flaw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they can't be unlikable 100% of the time.
Yes, they've got to be like have some redeeming qualities.
Right. The only one they give it to is Donna, and that's a reading disability. Like, you know what I mean?
And a virgin.
Yes, a virgin.
For a long time.
Yeah, I forgot that was so much of her story.
Oh yeah, because she's Catholic. She's like hardcore Catholic.
Because Catholicism is a raging epidemic in Beverly Hills.
Yes, exactly. I know everyone's. Yeah, it's so funny.
Well, okay, the parents are really engaged in their kids' relationships, which I find nauseating.
Yeah, no, it's really they're. In retrospect, if we knew these parents, they would be the parents that are way too involved in their kids' lives. Like
they're not tiger moms because that doesn't exist. They're just they don't have the right boundaries.
Yeah, no, they have no boundaries, especially Cindy. Cindy's a full cockblock in this episode.
Cockblock, and she has a lot of scenes.
This is like Cindy's episode.
Yeah.
This is like about Cindy more than it is about Brandon losing his virginity.
The first time Cindy's the star.
Yes.
That's what it is. Yeah, in parentheses.
We should try and get Carol Potter on.
Oh, I don't think we have to try. I'm sure we could just ask. I would love to meet her.
I would die to have
because
Carol Potter
her perspective on that show has to be really incredible because she's in scenes with the two hugest stars. Yeah. Or the three, really, because Dylan's over all the time.
Obviously.
But she had an adult perspective on the kind of fame, acting, the luck of being on a television show like that, everything.
All of that.
While not having to be a Shannon Doherty.
Yes.
Not having to be a Luke Perry.
Yeah, being like, she was kind of like a fly on the wall because she wasn't embroiled in all the drama.
She was not a guest on Arsenio Hall.
No, she was not.
Maybe she was, but I don't think she was.
She was not, to my knowledge.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm going to have an adult cider and go down to Carol Potter YouTube K-hole.
Yes. Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, I'm gonna get stoned. Let's go down to Carol Potter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I did look her and Jim up to see what they had said about when Shannon passed, and they're both active on Instagram. I mean, I could probably just DM them. You know?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That would be so
I didn't even
funny.
think to look up James Eckhouse.
Oh yeah. Well, James Eckhouse is an acting teacher. He's an acting coach.
Really?
I have quite a few friends who have studied with him. She didn't have to go on mall tours. You're so right. She didn't have to get fucking trampled during 90210 Beatlemania. You're so right.
They still do, like, there are still mall tours, right? Like, people still.
I don't think so, because I don't think malls are. I think malls are.
But like Kylie and Kendall were doing like appearances,
like a PacSun appearance.
Yeah,
I think that was more like because they had a line at PacSun. It wasn't just for 90210. They were just
travel.
Yeah, they were traveling like they do the conventions to like.
Yeah.
And Britney Spears used to pop stars. That's how pop stars used to get.
Tiffany, the real Tiffany. I think we're alone now.
Yeah,
she 1000 did a mall tour.
Yeah, so I think that was more of a 90s thing, whereas now I think if stars go to a mall, it's because they have some sort of, like Chloe going to the Good American opening.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I think it's more that. But I love them all, so more mall tours,
you
please.
You and my boyfriend, we can be in the most beautiful places.
Yeah.
We've been to Hawaii, we've been to all kinds of incredible places, and if there's a mall, I can see his eyes light up. I'm like, we're not going.
I love a mall.
Does the mall not make you feel like everyone's staring at you for the worst reason?
No, it's like I'm free, I'm shopping, there's a movie theater, there's food, there's everything I could need.
Options, really?
Options. And also the Cherry Creek Mall in Denver.
Okay,
is the best mall in the world.
Are you Cherry Creek? I didn't know that.
I'm Cherry Creek.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to Cherry Creek High School. I went to St. Mary's, but I grew up in Cherry Creek North, right by the Cherry Creek Mall.
The reason I rap Cherry Creek Mall, this is Tiffany.
This is Tiff.
I do love the Americana because I feel invisible there. There's something, because everyone's up their own ass.
Oh, any mall in LA, I feel
is
like
that.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
What's the one over in Beverly Hills?
Bev Center?
That one. No, that one's empty. The other one.
Westfield Century City?
Maybe, yeah. That one's Century City.
Oh, I like that one, but I just feel like everyone there is up their own ass, too.
Is that where they have Italy?
Yes.
That one, yeah.
That's probably my favorite mall in LA. And then Topanga Canyon if I want to trek. I got all the malls. Guys, email me for my top malls in America.
All the malls.
But no, one of my first jobs, I worked at the Abercrombie at the Cherry Creek Mall. Like, I love that mall. Okay, lights up on episode 4 the first time. It's November and we're in a heat wave.
Yes.
Kind of like now.
Which is very true, very happening as very now.
I love it. And Brandon's not wearing a shirt. This is the famous.
It's a mega shirtless episode.
It is so shirtless for Brandon.
Him, yes.
And what I love is he really has that kind of teen bod.
Yeah. Teen bod,
which is probably why I was attracted to him, because he didn't look like a man. He looked like a kid, because I was a kid.
Because in the last century, he's fit.
Yeah.
Right. But in last century, it was normal to look normal.
Yes.
And now everyone is, not that it's unhealthy to be jacked up, but like
shredded.
Everyone is shredded in a way that they did not used to be.
No. Like everyone has like 18 packs.
But can you imagine if he tried to go shirtless on TV today, they would probably like recast him or something.
Oh, they'd be like dad bod. You know?
It would be over.
Yeah, and again, he's got a little bit of a
he's
six-pack.
Fine,
he's defined, but he's not like.
But he's honestly in real life, he's 20 something, right?
That's true. He's 23.
So like a 23-year-old walking around with like that body.
Yeah.
Not to objectify the person. I'm just trying to say there's no way that would fly today. At all.
It's very different
People
today.
would say something if he was not fit.
Agreed.
And back then it was like, oh my God, look how sexy.
It was hot.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have to be like so cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, all of them. Steve, Luke Perry, every single one of them. They're not these like jacked.
Steve, I think, has the hottest bod. He's tall and he's we see a lot of shirtless Steve. We got a lot of shirtless Steve.
He's
coming
hunky.
Summer
but
ups.
he has that jockiness about him.
Yes, he does.
So he can pull it off. Yeah, he has
can.
like...
Even though they portray him as not being good at sports and Brandon being really good at sports, which I love.
But he has like football team lughead.
Yes, he does.
Vibe.
He does. Like, I could never imagine Luke Perry playing that role.
His neck is too thin.
Yeah.
I have a thin neck. Look at... And Luke Perry has this
a
little
really
pencil
thin neck too, yeah.
It's like every time I see his hair gets taller. Right. And I'm always like, his poor little neck, it can't hold up all that hair. If it does, his hair, this one is very tall.
Oh, it's very tall hair. Yeah. Yes. He's for sure pushing 6 feet in this one. Okay. So Brandon's shirtless. He gets a phone call from his girlfriend, who we haven't heard about.
Not a lick.
3 episodes in.
Not at all.
Cheryl, who's just his long distance kind of girlfriend. They kind of broke up. We'll see what happens when I move.
Parents seem to like her.
Yeah, parents love her. They're
excited. Cheryl calls.
Cheryl calls.
Which is a horrible name.
Cheryl.
For a teenage girlfriend. Yeah, exactly.
That's like a mom's name.
Cheryl
and Carol.
And even Brenda's like, she can stay in my room.
Everyone is all about, it's almost like they think he's gay. And they're like, bring Cheryl.
It was.
it's you know what it is?
Yes.
They're like, that Dylan's been hanging out a lot.
So they're suspicious of his new fancy friends.
Because he's on the portable phone with Cheryl and Cindy's walking around outside the door. Jim's fucking walking around.
Being suspiciously curious.
They're both very curious.
Brenda just walks in.
Everyone's just very invested.
So you're an only child. You may have experienced this with your parents, but the invasion of having your sibling just walk in your room.
Oh no! I had to deal with that.
Well, and sometimes you would fly, or you'd be like, "Get out of my room!"
Yeah.
Which it depended on your level of emotional rage. Yeah. How effective that threat was. Because you either had to, if the person didn't leave. Yeah. My sister, you had to follow it up with something. Yeah. Which would be something physical, right? Or something, right. But there was nothing worse than being like, "Get out of my room," and then your sister not leaving and beating you up. But yeah, the violation.
The violation
of a sibling just walking in and listening to your phone call.
I never dealt with that. My dad is OCD, so he would have a habit of cleaning stuff up and in my room. He'd come in and clean my room and throw stuff out that I needed.
Oh my gosh, that is a violation. Isn't
that funny?
What, like homework?
No, just like paper stuff, like shit that I probably didn't need, but he'd just be like, he couldn't help himself. He had OCD, you know?
Are you sure? Was he snooping?
I don't think he was. No, it genuinely was just like our house always looked like a hotel, like nothing out.
Clean surfaces.
And to the point where when I started living alone, I was like, what's this mess everywhere? Because I was so used
You didn't know it was you.
Because I was so used to, he'd like ask me to do it and I wouldn't do it. And then he'd just do it, you know? And my mom would be like, honey, don't go in her room. It was like a whole thing. But that was my, yes. And that's why I'm a comedian.
Yes, because I'm telling you, my mom would come in. One time I got out of the shower and I came in my room. And my mom was on the floor and she'd gotten into my backpack, opened it up, and there were all my notes from friends that you pass and things like that. And she'd read every single one of them.
Oh, my God.
And my mom, because I think she was worried about the crowd I was hanging out with, which was nothing.
Yeah.
And one of my friends.
Sam was there.
I'll never forget. Is Sam going to be there? This is pre-Sam. So they didn't have anything to worry about. But there was this, I'll never forget. My friend wrote me this note in school, right? You just pass it in between periods. So it was when I got to class and I'm reading it. And she was, "Dear Daniel, you are a," and then wrote down every horrible name you could think of in the book, just to be funny, right? It was like, called me every bad, every curse word, everything. And one of them happened to be douchebag. And so there I am, and my mom is on the floor looking at all the things that she's read, and I'm like appalled at the violation of everything. And my mom is sitting there with this note, and she goes, I mean, how do you even know what a douchebag is? And I remember being like, oh my God, this is a moment in my life.
Oh my God.
And I remember like, you're the one who dug through my shit, right? Like you're the one, like,
you asked for this.
Yeah.
My mom didn't, my parents really were good about, they never snooped, but my mom would, because I was so like, such a bad girl. I just had feared no consequences. Like,
where did this come from?
I don't know. I think just being an only child and like being like a Brenda, good getting my way, you know, and like and being comfortable around adults. They say only children are more comfortable. So I was like,
only children are more likely to commit crimes because they're comfortable around adults.
Probably, yes. But I had gone to, my friends and I would party hard. I drank always freshman year in high school. My later in life boyfriend who I did lose my virginity to had a party at his house that was way out, almost where my boyfriend lived.
Past curfew.
Past curfew. And I got so drunk that I was throwing up and had to stay over.
Yeah, I remember those days.
And someone took a picture of me passed out. And like we took party pictures. They're black and white pictures, and like it's like the table's covered in plastic and like just like empty beer cans and bottles. And I put them in a fucking photo album and had them on my desk. So my mom comes in and she's like dropping off laundry, and she's just like, "Oh, this is a nice photo album. I haven't seen this." And she's just perusing, and then just gets to pictures of me like passed.
She gets to page 7. What did she say?
She like I think that may have been she like picked me up from lacrosse and was like, we have to go have dinner and talk.
Oh, you weren't there when she came.
Oh no, I wasn't there. So then later I heard about it.
Oh no.
So that was kind of always how I never got caught like in the act. It was always my own stupidity getting myself caught. You know,
which was always worse because then they can blindside you with the. We found your stash.
And that's what she always like on the way to the dinner after lacrosse. I was like, she wouldn't tell me what it was about. And then she's like, I found your pictures of you passed out and booze everywhere. Which in my mind, if I found that as a mom, it would feel quite dark.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would be concerned. I was unconscious,
yes,
you know?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's all fine. I lost my virginity to him way later, so it's all good. Okay, so Cheryl's coming to visit.
Cheryl's on her way.
Jim's like, hell yeah, bro, smash.
Yeah,
you know?
get it, boy. Yes.
It's so great. Brandon asks Andrea if he cannot cover the football game because this girlfriend is coming.
He's got busy. He's busy plans.
And Andrea's like, you're so secretive. She's very curious. She has no boundaries. Very nosy.
Jealous, nosy, judgy.
Judgy, horny.
Horny.
Always
with a
horny.
Lethal combination. That is a lethal combination. And she asks, she asks a very personal question.
Yeah. What did she say?
She asks, does she ask whose bed is she sleeping in? Or what room is she sleeping in?
Whose room is she sleeping in? It's like, Andrea, you don't even hang out outside of the newsroom. Okay.
I mean, breaking news.
Yeah,
you never go home. She asks how long you were together.
Yes.
What room is she sleeping in?
Yes.
She's clearly jealous.
Yes. And she's like, I never knew you had a girlfriend. And he's like, well, I never brought her up. Like, why would I bring her up?
But based on the joyousness of Cindy and Jim,
yes,
Andrea's way more concerned about this girl coming to town than the parents.
It's like Andrea's the mom, basically.
And again, I think, is this her only scene?
I think it might be. She might have one other scene. Although she does look cute in this one. She had on these cute little shorts.
Yeah.
And like a short sleeve shirt. It was like young hot teacher.
It may have been her day off.
Maybe.
When she wasn't in the newsroom, so she doesn't have to wear her work clothes. Might have been a Saturday.
Oh my God. And then we're introduced to the algebra teacher who, Aaron, I think I sent you a picture of the algebra teacher.
Which I can't even take. Go ahead.
He is hot. He's one of the many hot teachers. He's positioned as hot. And here's my theory. It's only because he's tall. Can we talk about it? Also, what is this white briefcase? Is he carrying lab samples in this? Like,
it's oh shit, what is the fancy luggage that everybody has that's $1 gazillion?
Ramoa.
It's Ramoa, yeah.
This is a very wealthy teacher.
He's got Ramoa.
He's got Ramoa and a mullet, and he's like 6'5", and all the girls want to smash.
So they allude to him being a hot teacher before they show him, which is hilarious because then they show him. And there's a very specific look. I feel like it's mostly 90s, even though it still exists now in the wild.
Yeah.
It's in a dark colored button-up collared shirt with a khaki fucking pants.
Yes.
I can't take it. It is a visual violation.
Yeah.
I worked at a job that made me dress like that. And especially the largest, the hugest crime is when you put it on a tall person.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all khaki, right? Look how high his waistline is.
Oh,
it's
I know.
basically to his nipples.
His legs are so long.
And then it's too much khaki. Look where the wall ends. Look at the wall behind him.
It's a lot of khaki, but also look at the way he's looking at those young co-eds, you know?
Yeah, he's too flirty.
He's way flirty.
And let's break him down as long as we're objectifying a man.
Yeah.
I would challenge you to I'll give you 5 edits to try to make him hot.
Okay.
Cut his hair. Trim his eyebrows.
Yeah. Outfit.
Outfit, everything.
Yeah.
His posture, number 1. What's with that homie, like this little
he's very hands crossed in front of him, holding the briefcase, not confident, not a power stance.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like Jay Leno's son.
He does look like Jay Leno's son, but like also like maybe a little scruffy facial hair. Like, could we get something?
But there is not one thing that makes him fuckable to me. Someone who objectifies and also fucks men.
But he's very flirty and tall. So here's the thing: he's tall. I think that's the thing. Is a lot of times girls, I talk about it a lot. If you're tall, I don't care if you have a face. Sometimes, you know, all I see is tall.
It's just high. I can also agree. I'm 6'3", so it's
watch out. I'm trying to stay
watch
over
out.
here.
Well, I'm seated. Thank God, we're on the same level. But I never see people like this. I never get to. And when I do, I notice myself being like, really?
Yeah.
Like feeling small.
Small.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like, oh, he could protect me.
He could mount me.
He could mount
sorry.
me.
Yeah. Sorry. We also protect me.
Protect and mount.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's we're all DNA.
Exactly.
Trying to like get bread.
Oh, a 1,000,000%. No,
but,
truly.
Yeah. The minute they said that, I was like, oh, this is a sitcom.
It is a sitcom.
This is not a drama.
Well, then they get in there and he invites Brenda to babysit for him.
Which is a strange violation.
Very interesting. I had a crush on a tall teacher who I'm still good friends with to this day. He's gay. So I was
okay. All right. Okay.
So it wasn't ever flirty. Unfortunately for me, I did have to get over the crush because I was like,
was he an out teacher at the time?
So he was, I mean, it was known that he was gay. Again,
like
it was a Catholic.
Like a kid. Oh.
It was a Catholic school, but it wasn't part of the archdiocese. So it was a little bit more chill than most. It wasn't as like
well, they let a gay guy in, yeah.
Yeah, no, and there were a few gay faculty members.
Well, I mean,
but he was out. But I don't know that it was. I forget how I found out, but I knew as a teacher, and I think most students knew.
Lots of teachers are gay. Yeah. Lots of teachers are gay.
Yeah.
Once, one of my friends in Austin I met, or one of my friends I knew forever, she was a teacher, and once I met all of her teacher friends.
Yeah.
All of them are gay.
Totally.
And there was something I didn't really notice or pay attention to, but like there's a lot of lesbians in teaching and stuff like that. But
yeah.
That's fascinating.
And I was texting with him just a few days ago.
Really?
Yeah, we're still buds.
One of my favorite.
He was 6'6", so you can imagine it was a hard crush to get over.
That's hard to get over. I know how you feel because you're a tall person.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 5'4". I'm like pretty
you
average.
Are?
Yeah, I wear a lot of platforms and stuff. I mean, these aren't huge. I'm 5'4".
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? People think I'm taller.
I got duped.
You got duped?
I keep getting duped on this show.
You do?
Okay, all right.
I'm like average. I'm not short, but I'm just 5'4" is like the average height.
You tricked me.
I did. I trick a lot of people.
But I'm a sucker for a tall man.
Oh, yeah.
But there has to be more follow through than that.
Yeah.
He certainly can't be married to some bitch wife with 2 shitty kids.
Oh, I know. Which one of the shitty kids is very triggering for me. We'll get to that. We'll get to it. Okay, so Brenda's having a fantasy. Oh, I love.
Curious.
Oh, just wait. Brenda has a fantasy though, because he pulls her aside after algebra.
Oh, that
class,
was my favorite. Yes.
Which this is the first. Have we had a Brenda fantasy so far?
They haven't really delved into suspension of disbelief.
Okay, so Brenda has a lot of fantasies moving forward.
Okay.
And I love it.
Okay.
And the fantasies are my favorite part. But Brenda, he pulls her aside and she has this fantasy where he like
run away with me. And then we find out he's actually just asking her to babysit for him and his wife. Even in the fantasy, in the glow up, he's still a pig. He does not look, you know what I mean? They could have like zhuzhed his hair or something, but even in the fantasy, he's still just like this troll. Tall troll. What do you call a tall troll? I don't know. He's more, gargoyle. I don't know. But not even that was like the golden lighting of the fantasy.
No, they didn't even make him look hot. He didn't even have a glow up in the fantasy.
He's like, I'm taking my wife out. Can you watch for my kids?
Yeah, and Brenda's like, yeah, okay, of course. I have shitty bangs still. Okay, then Dylan rolls up wearing pajama pants. Do you remember? And I think, Aaron, I sent you a picture. First of all, they're talking in the shop class where we first met Dylan about the girl, and Dylan's like, well, if she's sleeping with you, of course you're going to like her better than all these other babes. And then we get an idea that maybe she's not sleeping with him. And Dylan's wearing these pants, full-blown pajama plaid hammer pants.
I do not remember him being such a fashion flipper.
I think they're just, honestly, because at some point he does settle into just James Dean.
Yeah.
But
yes.
But it's interesting to see them try and figure out his style because, again, remember, he was only supposed to have a 2-episode arc. Oh. So they were like, let's just throw him in overalls and we'll get him in and out.
They literally didn't buy enough wardrobe.
No, they didn't. This is probably, he just wore this to set. Yeah. They're like, well, Dylan, you're due.
In this episode, you're quirky.
Yeah, exactly. So he's wearing these and they're like really outrageously baggy, but then they come in on like a very tight ankle jogger kind of situation with just a white t-shirt, sleeves rolled up, of course.
It's giving Mervin's Christmas.
It is catalog. So Mervin's Christmas catalog.
It's a Mervin's Christmas catalog.
But in this episode, he's like, hey, bring her to the hotel this weekend. I'd like to meet her.
Yeah, it says bring her by.
Yeah, which like sounds like he owns, again, it feels in this episode like he is the owner of the hotel.
Of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, and of Beverly Hills. He's the fucking mayor.
He knows people.
Yeah, he does. He does know people.
Because there's a later when he says friends of the family.
Yes, exactly.
That, which I counted like 10 wrinkles on his forehead when he said that. He was like, they're friends of the family.
I know. He does. He looks older than high school.
I know.
He does.
I mean, and I realize you can count the wrinkles on my forehead.
I mean, I have the wrinkles too, but I have bangs. Okay. So we get home. Brandon gets home from school. Cheryl's already there.
Yeah.
Cheryl's been chatting it up with Cindy.
So, same girlfriend did that, and that's when I knew it was over.
Oh.
I got home from school, and my girlfriend was already there yucking it up with mom in the kitchen, being like BFFs. I was like, what is this?
Oh, that's what girls do. They're like, if I get in with the mom.
Oh, well, listen, if you're a gay man's girlfriend, that is the last thing you want to do. If you want to keep your gay boyfriend, do not become friends with his mom. I love my mom, but she made me gay.
That's so funny.
That's the last thing that needs to happen.
Well,
but no, I remember.
It's also happening for Brandon, who's, we know, secretly dating Dylan.
Anyway, yeah. But this is a great chance for him to throw them off with this beard.
Yes, it is. But also, I do have to say, I do think this girl is gorgeous. I think she's really pretty, naturally pretty. Mm-hmm. She does kind of have a little bit of an Andrea style, though.
In that she's probably 30.
Yes. And I think I looked her up, and she is
older.
Yeah.
You can tell because her acting is better.
It's good acting.
She's better finesse.
She just has, you can just tell she's had some more life experience.
More life experience because they give her some really crappy lines in this one. She says all kinds of horrible, cheesy stuff.
Yeah, but she makes it kind of work.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They really don't, like, this episode is the most after-school special one yet.
It's so good.
Where it's like, y'all are trying to make me learn a lesson from someone.
Yes. We're not sure who.
No, but
we're not sure, you aren't sure what the lesson
everyone's
is.
Trying to teach 14-year-old Daniel what to do and not do.
It's so good. So Cheryl gets in. She's in Brenda's room and she's like, are there any cute guys at school? And Brenda goes, the cutest guy at school is my algebra teacher. Which is Mr. Brody. His name's Matt. Like, what? It's just so funny that because Cheryl's like, are you dating anyone? And she's like, well, the cutest guy at school is my teacher.
Which is not true.
But so I related to that because for me, that was true because I went to an all-girls school. So there were no men except the teachers.
Except the gay 6'6" guy. No wonder you had a crush on him. He was the only guy there.
Literally the only man.
Oh my God, that is funny.
Isn't that funny?
So I guess I had forgotten, even though I just watched it, that is literally the first answer. It's the hot teacher, and he is disgusting.
He's so gross.
He is not hot. He looks like he ran into the back of a pickup truck. Like,
but also, Brenda's constantly trying to get with older guys at this point.
Well, she has a type. So am I.
She does.
So am I.
She does have a type.
Uh-oh. Am I getting bangs too?
Oh my God, yes. You're getting bangs. Look at him. The cutest guy in school. Mind you, Brandon goes to this school, and we know she has chemistry with her brother. Right. Dylan. David has got a growth spurt. He's growing into himself.
Okay, lots of questions. First of all, why does she not immediately say, aren't you dating Brandon?
Yeah.
When Brandon's girlfriend asks, are there cute guys at school? Second, really fast. I'm sorry, Aaron, will you go back to the teacher pic really fast, the ugly teacher photo? Look at him. He looks younger than Luke Perry.
He does.
If you put him in overalls not fastened, put him in the episode from last one, right? He would look like a student.
That's what I'm saying.
Put him in student clothes, take away the Ramoa. He is a teen.
This show, all the characters, their ages are interchangeable.
Are in flux.
And I love that. They're all within like 5 to 10 years of each other. Anyone can, it's like a school play where anyone can play any age.
I guarantee you Carol Potter read for the role of Brenda. I guarantee you that's what she showed up to play. And they're like, close.
That's why she and Luke Perry had chemistry at some point. They did a chemistry reading.
They're like, we're going to have to send y'all on a date scene. Like, have them on a date scene. I bet they had it, too.
Oh, my God. I'm, like, crying.
R.I.P.
God, R.I.P.
What could have been?
It could have been. I know. We need to have Carol
The
Potter
Potter McKays.
The Potter
McKays.
Oh, my God. I need a Potter McKay.
That sounds like a craft store.
Oh, my God. Okay. So, blah, blah, blah. The teacher's the only hot one. Meanwhile, Cindy's coming in and like bringing towels and blankets, cock blocking, nosy. She and Andrea are very nosy.
Yes.
And cock blocky.
Well, they've been catching up and having the greatest time. Yeah. That's what the grossest thing. Yeah.
Oh, they've had the best time. Yeah.
That just, I think, shows, as was highlighted in the last episode, how lonely Cindy is.
Cindy's really lonely. It's an adjustment moving to a new city.
Yeah, she's like, Brandon, you're not the only one who has to lose their virginity around here. Yeah. Like she has to get some while Cheryl's in town too.
She does.
But yeah, I do like how welcoming everyone is.
I do too.
To Cheryl.
And Cheryl, clearly there's a very familial vibe. Cheryl was very close to the family in Minnesota. But obviously we're going to learn there's more to the story.
And
here.
she's wowed by Beverly Hills and wowed by Hollywood.
She just wants to see a famous person.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because then they're going to sleep. She gets out of the shower and Brandon comes in because obviously Brandon share a bathroom. And Brandon's like, come to my room in an
Shirtless
hour.
again.
Shirtless
again.
Because he sleeps shirtless.
Well, I mean, yeah. When he's home, he's shirtless.
There's a heat wave in November.
Oh, that's right.
Don't forget, they say it every 5 minutes.
The Santa Ana winds are blowing in. Yeah.
But he's like, meet me, and she's like, I don't know. Should we lose our virginity to each other? I want it to be special. And he's like, his argument is so dumb. He's like, it'll be special because it's us. Like we'll think about it later and remember it was special. Like
he literally says, I guarantee it. Like he sounds like the Men's Warehouse guy.
Whose virginity is special? Like I lost mine in a basement. The guy who I took his virginity, it was in a basement. It's like never, there are other people there usually.
One of my losses of virginities was like in a bathroom. Yeah, something like that. And then another loss of virginity was also like equally in a public place.
Yeah, it's like at a party where other people are outside.
I think the more you try to stage it and make it special, the weirder it was.
Agree.
Or the grosser it was.
Agree.
There was definitely an I choose you thing.
Yes.
I remember having those conversations about like sharing the experience. But that always made my fucking skin crawl.
I did not. I mean, the guy I lost it to was not a virgin. He was 6'4" though. So he,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just
He wasn't a virgin, but he was 6'4". Redeemed. How could he be a virgin? He's 6'4".
He's 6'4".
He never stood a chance.
He was just covered in pus.
Yeah, he was never stood a chance.
Never stood a chance.
The minute he cracked 6'3", it was
quick.
over.
He was hot though, and he was older. He was a senior, and I was a junior.
Even better.
Hot, right?
See, those kind of dynamics were so fun.
Weren't
back
they fun?
Then. Yes, it was harmless.
So much older.
Yeah, what's that?
That felt so much older.
Oh, light years apart. Yeah.
Which his birthday is actually tomorrow, and so he's like a year and a half older than me.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Oh wait, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say
Yesterday is my high school crush's birthday. Yes.
Scorpios.
Her name was Rachel Fallon, and sorry, we can bleep it or whatever.
No.
I loved her. I was in love with her. But it was one of those things I didn't know. I
love her,
from afar. Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
But every year, me and my friend Andrea, Andrea is a lesbian. Oh, she's the teacher who exposed to me that there's so many gay people, and this is all coming together.
Oh my God.
There's so many gay people who teach.
Yeah.
So my friend Andrea equally had a crush on this person, but we never shared this until way later in our lives.
Hilarious.
And so now we have to, on November the 3rd, we have to be the first person to text "Happy Birthday, Rachel" to each other.
Oh my God.
Not to Rachel, but to each other.
Oh my God.
Because we still each have like such a hardcore crush on her.
That's so funny.
But she was a senior and I was a sophomore, and I was so intimidated by that.
Yeah. Well, it's just hot, you know?
Yeah. She would make me mixtapes.
Oh.
So it really was love.
No, that's I made a few mixtapes, and that's love.
That was the real deal.
That was the real deal. Okay, so they're about to lose their virginity. She does sneak in.
Yes.
She sneaks off the cot in Brenda's room and into Brandon's room, and Cindy knows something is up.
She can, before they make a sound, she can sense it.
She can sense it.
Yes.
Cindy is like,
my son's horny.
Yeah.
I can feel it. My son wants to have sex right now. Do you know there's an alert? Do you know that there's an app that you share with your kids, and every time you access porn on your phone, so like you're the mom, I'm the son. If I access porn on my phone, it would send you an alert.
Oh my God.
Anytime you access porn, it would send me an alert.
Ew.
And yes.
Ew.
Big ooh.
Ew.
And it's this accountability thing where it's like, I'm being accountable with you, and now we will both pledge to not watch porn. So that way.
And people actually both agree to that?
Yes. And so Cindy has that vibe.
Cindy is so that vibe.
Cindy got an app.
Cindy has an app.
She got a notice that her son is fornicating.
She did. She's really sensing, and she's like, what's going on?
We have
Jim. Immediately, Jim, just like
she
nagging
wakes him up.
Jim. Wakes him up. He's in a deep sleep. He's the only one working in this house.
Meanwhile, I'm like, why don't you fuck your husband?
Exactly.
I'm like, why don't you do that? And like, then everybody's happy.
Exactly.
Why are you trying to stop everybody from fucking?
Thank God Jim is like being cool. He's got Brandon's back. He's like, I'll talk to him in the morning.
This was a big Jim episode. I liked it. I really liked it.
I loved Jim.
Jim's kind of a bro.
Jim's a bro. We're going to get into Jim being a little uptight later, but
he has an ASMR quality to his voice that I can't quite explain because he doesn't have a sexy voice. It's sort of deep. There
is something about it though.
Because I was listening to this episode with headphones on, and that's when I was like, oh, I remember liking his voice.
Yeah, no, he does have a good voice.
There's like a rich, weird, wet quality to it.
Yeah. Yes.
Like dark wood.
Yes, dark wood. It's the dark wood of voices and of letting your son have sex.
Have sex, free will, yeah.
So they have sex, whatever. We wake up the next day. Brandon's like singing. He's squeezing fresh squeezed orange juice.
He picked.
Yeah, he picked the oranges. Tell me you had sex without telling me you
had sex. Yeah. Tell me you lost your virginity without telling me that you drove out to Pomona to pick the oranges to come home to squeeze them and strain the pulp, and you're listening to a symphony.
Yeah.
At all full volume?
So it wasn't a symphony because I have the original music. I forget what song it was, but it was a popular song. I need to get you into my account so that you can watch with the original
because the music is different. You need to hear the music.
I do remember, but I was like, when I watched this morning, I was like, I need to go back and see what music they actually had.
Okay, because not to go back to the last episode, but the montage of him job hunting. Yeah. The music is hilarious.
Yeah, the music is so funny if you don't have this the hackers files.
So yeah, you need to send because I'm watching on Pluto TV, which is free, and you can watch it in order. They also have it on demand, which if you want to just dip in and get into it. But I think they have the edited, the one you're talking about. But it's agonizing.
It's honestly, it's very hard to find. Like Mitch really did he's a good boyfriend. He connected with a hacker.
Mitch has hacker vibes.
He does.
He has a hacker vibe.
He knows. Mitch will figure it out.
Yeah,
Mitch
has a hacker vibe.
No, he does. Okay, so they're off. She wants to see movie stars. So he's taking her, and this whole time they're at Dylan. They're at the fucking hotel.
The Bellage.
You know, we do a montage of them driving through Beverly Hills, Rodeo.
She's the worst photographer you've ever seen.
So bad. She's just like, celebrities.
Oh, wow.
She's asking the server, are there any celebrities here?
Also, who is this actress? The server, where on earth did they find her? She's 50. She's dressed like a French maid. She has a peculiar way of talking. You'll be the first to know. Like, she's like trying to buy her way onto the show. It's like, maybe I'll be the wacky waitress character or something. Like, she's too much.
She is too much. But then Dylan comes. Of course, Dylan has to check on his boyfriend.
Shows up. Sure. Where are you? I haven't seen you, Brandon. Where are you? You weren't in study hall.
And then Brandon has to run to the washroom, he calls it. Which I thought was like, I'm going to watch the washroom. And then she says, I want to see celebrities. And that's when he says, I know people. My family does.
Friends of the family.
And we can get you into this club tonight. What's the club called? Contact.
Ooh, that's a good name.
This club called Contact is very hard to get into, but Dylan has an in.
And Brenda validates that when Cheryl tells her where they're going. Yes. She's like, if anyone can get you in,
it's Dylan McKay. And also, it should be noted that Dylan and Brenda have not interacted like at all at this point.
Yeah, no.
Like Dylan is kind of like a far off fantasy.
He's notorious.
He's a bad boy. Mm-hmm. He's popular. All the girls love him. Like, I don't even know that he's on Brenda's radar in that way yet.
She knows he lives at the hotel, right? I think she says something about that.
Yes, something about that. She's aware of him.
Yeah.
But he's just that bitch that everyone talks about. Have they had a scene
together where they speak?
I don't think so. I think when they do, I think the first time is when Kelly's like, Dylan, do you prefer blondes or brunettes? Mm-hmm. And he says blondes, and then makes flirty eyes to Brenda, and then Brenda dyes her hair blonde. It's a fun one. We're getting to it.
So this scene, I immediately clocked when he goes to the restroom, which is 2 weird times in this episode when someone says, "I'm going to the bathroom."
Yeah.
That Dylan was breaking a boundary, I thought, in his familiarity with Brandon's out-of-town girlfriend.
Yes, I agree.
I thought that part was he was planting the seeds to young, plucky Midwest girl.
And also, I will say, like, Dylan is kind of in the first seasons, you're like, oh, he's reliable. He's the misunderstood bad boy, but he has the heart of gold. But here, and in season 3, he's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy.
Before fuckboy was a word.
Yeah. He was the original fuckboy.
OG fuckboy.
But we're seeing hints of it here.
Yes.
Because, like, why are you're clearly saying things that are going to impress Brandon's cute Midwest girlfriend.
I will say this. I just said that Dylan's character in this episode exclusively is also all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of, and he's so like, about his character. Like, I know who I am, man, and confrontational about people's ethics. And yet his ethics are like so up and down in this one.
Well, we find out later that he's sober, which he has issues with. I don't think he is in this because
who could live long enough to be a high schooler and have alcohol destroy your life?
I know. Look, I was a wild party child, and I did stop drinking from like 17. To be fair, I was on Dexedrine, which was ADHD medication, so I was just on speed instead. But yes, Dylan, I think he's just set up to be this kind of wise, older soul who, again, is misunderstood and troubled, but like a good guy at heart, which I totally don't buy that at all. He's not a good person. You guys know.
You're such a Brenda.
I'm such a Brenda.
You're so scorned still. You're mad about it.
I told you when I had Ian on, I was like, I felt like I had been cheated on. And he goes, wow, that's kind of intense. Like, he was not like, oh, that's cute. You got so invested.
He doesn't have that attachment, right?
He doesn't. He was like, okay.
He doesn't feel like his friends were cheating on each other. Yeah, not at all. But I relate to that. I know how you feel.
I think it's because it was the first time that I, as we've talked about, experienced the feeling of betrayal and being betrayed by a loved one.
By your friend. Yes.
By your friend. You just don't do that.
You didn't see it coming.
In retrospect, I did put a lot of the blame on Kelly, which I think was the thing back in the day, to blame the woman. Yeah. But now I'm saying Dylan is equally as guilty, if not guiltier.
Well, here's the thing. Here's probably what really happened is that Jim and Carol got wise to Brandon and Dylan being fags, and so he had to cheat on Kelly to stir up some drama over there just to make him look less gay. That, through the looking glass, is what was going on.
1,000,000%. That's what was happening.
Through the spelling glass.
Through the spelling glass. It always comes back to...
comes out to them being DL. They're
on the DL. Okay, so they decide they're going to go to this club that night. As they're leaving, though, which I love, Brandon's wearing like a dad night out outfit. He's wearing a white t-shirt, blazer.
Oh, I liked
and
it.
Jeans.
Oh,
but
I
it's
like
just
this look.
But it just reminds me, it's like what my dad would wear.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was funny because I'm like, oh, he looks like a man who just lost his virginity.
He's executive now.
Now he has a blazer. It's the first time we've seen him wear a blazer.
I lost my virginity. Now I need shoulder pads. Yeah, exactly. It's one to the next. That's how it happens. I totally thought when I was a kid going to like school dances, what I had in my head, what I should dress as was that look.
Oh, totally.
I never pulled it off or never tried it, but that was what I thought I should be going for.
And I just want to be clear. I like that look. It just is it reminds me of my dad because that was my dad. Because that was the look in the 90s.
1,000%.
Sport coat,
Gazillion.
jeans.
Gazillion. Yes, very 90s.
So they're leaving. He has to drop Brenda off at her her teacher's house. And
that she's dressed up for.
She dresses up for. She's like,
when she holds
the necklace. She's like, how's this necklace? It's the ugliest necklace I've ever seen. And her friend's like, it's cool. Aren't you just babysitting?
The necklace is made out of like Coke bottle caps or some shit.
So ugly.
It's like a craft fair.
I'm like, go steal a better necklace, you know? Like, call up Tiff. Like,
go steal another necklace. She can't even shoplift right. Like
she can't.
She stole the loudest necklace from the store.
It is loud. It's like clinky. It's like clink, 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 clink.
That's so funny. I forgot when she holds up the necklace and fucking Cheryl's like, it's cute. I'm like, Cheryl is lying.
Cheryl is lying.
Cheryl is a cock block.
She may be from the Midwest, but like Cheryl knows that's not a cute necklace.
Oh my God. But somehow Brenda is dressing sexy. For her babysitting gig.
For her teacher and his wife.
Hot for teacher, man.
Hot for teacher. But Dylan,
Is this before Mary Kay Letourneau was a scandal?
Oh.
It has to be.
Aaron's saying yes.
Yeah. So then it would, of course, because it's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
But of the woman seducing the male student.
Of course.
Then this being clocked as him being like a predator. Well, she's not. But Brenda's a predator.
I mean, this is the second old guy she's tried to swindle
into committing a crime. Yeah. Let's be very clear. So Brenda's on her way to criminalize her teacher.
Yes, exactly. And they go outside. Who's here in his Porsche? Yeah. Dylan. And who does Cheryl want to drive with? Brandon in his brown hatchback.
His gremlin.
He calls Mondo or Dylan's Porsche. She's like, do you mind if I go with Dylan? This girl is just...
She doesn't... Well, it made sense later.
Later it makes sense. She's going through it.
This is a red flag. Yes. Brandon's too stupid to notice that anything's going on.
Brandon doesn't understand.
But again, any dude who's a dude knows you don't take your dude's girl joyriding alone.
Right? Like that's like
you just don't do that.
It's like
bro code,
right? Like I know I'm not a bro, but that seems like
bros before hoes.
Exactly.
That is the actual rule he's breaking right there.
Yes, exactly. And also it's like, sorry, but what a bitch Cheryl is. Like
to want to even ask the question.
Exactly. Like I'm like, bitch, what are you doing?
Wait, I just asked if Brenda and Dylan ever have a scene, and is that the first one?
Oh, that's probably the first one.
Where they do not engage.
They don't engage at all. I don't even know that they're on screen together.
At all. Not until Brenda's like, Brandon, can you be any slower?
Yeah. Okay, someone's been watching Chandler
She's
Bing.
Chandler Binging. Yeah.
But you know what's funny? I know that they don't really have any scenes because later when they do have a scene together where they talk, he goes, you're Brandon's sister, right? So like it's kind of established that throughout all this they're aware of each other, but just like aren't fully on each other's radar.
I would love to know how intentional the story arc was of Brenda and Dylan being a thing.
I was wondering that as well because it seems like you know right when it drops in. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, this is where this is going.
Sure.
Where it does kind of feel like something. It feels like now they're just kind of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what works.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Definitely trying to see what sticks.
Like, remember the Spanish teacher and principal?
Gone. Erased.
I have not seen them.
And in fact, ever since then, you only see one teacher for one scene in an episode, and then you never see them again.
It's like they could only budget for one teacher per scene.
I honestly, there's never been, like, what teacher storyline is thrilling on a teen show?
That's true.
On a teen show.
Very true.
Abbott Elementary is very funny.
Yeah, it's very cute. Okay, so Cheryl's a bitch. She goes with Dylan.
She jumps in the car.
Brandon drops Brenda off at the kids' house. I mean, the kids with the parents to babysit the kids. And she goes in, and one of the kids is the kid from Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, it is?
Now, Aaron knows.
Oh, no.
I have trauma around this kid because when Sleepless in Seattle came out, my grandmother said, you look just like the kid.
The little boy?
The little boy. Look. That's...
Aww. First of all, let's look at this picture of you. You are so cute.
Oh my God, what a little...
Wow, you don't really fuck around with those bangs.
No, I don't.
You are a bang girl. You are a banger.
I've always been... And that kid has bangs too.
Technically, he does, yes.
I think the bangs is what was really selling
He has Atsuko Okatsuka's haircut.
Yes, he does. It's a good haircut.
Okay, first of all, you don't.
Thank you.
The little boy looks like a... Well, I don't want to gender people. You look like a little girl. I don't see a lot of bleed over into you two.
I think it's the bangs but my grandmother was just, and the fact that we both have the same hair color and like no jawline. I think that's probably it.
No.
There's not a jawline in sight, and that's fine. My jawline won't come in
until later.
Where is
this photo from of you?
This is like I'm with my mom in this picture, and my mom's wearing a very 90s, very Kelly Taylor dress, floral, long sleeve, like the kind we were talking about, like the crushed velvet.
Yeah.
And we were having our picture taken at maybe like a party or something.
Well, your grandmother was wrong to do that.
Sorry, Nanny.
My grandmother, grandmas say fucked up things. I don't think they know it.
That got me so in my. I hated that movie, and I still hate that movie.
Because every time you see me, you're like, oh my God, I'm that little boy.
I'm that little boy.
Yeah. My grandmother, I had horrible acne when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Terrible acne.
You don't have any scars or anything?
Somehow I don't, even though I fucking should. I had a horrible face. And my grandmother, the sweetest lady ever, she walked in one day and she straight up said, she goes, oh, what happened to my baby's face?
Oh, my God.
And she kept saying things like, I just can't believe what's happened to your face.
Oh, my God.
And it was I was in the red zone, like literally. I was like, this was not a good time to be saying that to me. And then one time she came in and she followed it up with, she said it several times. And the worst part was she said it to my sister years before and I laughed. And then she said it to me. I was like, oh, that's what I fucking get for being a dick.
Yeah.
But she said, it's okay. When you have greasy skin, you'll look young when you're older. And I'm fucking 42. Look at this shit.
You look great.
Like, yeah, because I'm a grease pig.
You do look great.
But you got to pay it forward.
You do have to pay it forward. You absolutely do.
But yeah, that was one of the things I was like, my grandmother would say, like, she was the nicest person that out of nowhere would clock your look. She'd be like, Nana.
Oh, see, my grandmother, she was a judgy bitch.
Really?
And I loved her. She was so cool. Yeah.
Tell me verbatim how she told you looked like that kid.
Oh, Justine, you have to go see the movie Sleepless in Seattle. You look just like the little boy. I kept saying to Lenny, that's my dad's name after my grandfather. Lenny, that looks just like Justine, just like over and over. And then we went to see the movie and I was like, that little boy, I look like the little boy? Like, what?
And it has to play more into your looks. Like, do I act like that? Do I sound like that?
Because that kid is so fucked up. He's calling it. He's telling his dad, he's trying to get his dad fucked the whole movie, basically.
Maybe she said because you're a meddler. Maybe she was giving you like Parent Trap vibes.
Maybe, that's it. Because I was a meddler.
I never saw Sleepless in Seattle, so
the kid is such a weird character. He's just trying to get his dad. Tom Hanks' wife died, and he's trying to get him laid.
With Meg Ryan,
with
right?
Meg
yeah,
Ryan.
and the Collins. Is Rosie O'Donnell?
I can't remember. Is Rosie in that?
Or Rosie Perez?
Maybe there's a Rosie.
Who's the radio person?
In that movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it might be Rosie
It is
Perez.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Or O'Donnell?
Someone plays the best friend.
One of them.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
I've only seen it like one or two times because it's traumatizing.
Well, clearly.
Anyway.
So you see this kid come on screen
I see
on Beverly Hills
90210. I'm like, I like throw the computer. So this kid is one of the bratty kids of the troll.
Hot teacher.
Mm-hmm. They leave. Fucking Kelly and Donna show up.
Which is a major violation. I would never have friends over when I was. Were you a babysitter?
Yeah. A little, not like maybe probably less than 10 times. Probably.
I would have been intimidated.
Oh, me too. I would have never done that.
No, but if my babysitter's friends came over, that would have scared me. Like I would have been of the adult kids.
Oh, yeah.
The big kids, that would have scared me.
The one time my nanny, I was hanging out with her and her friends, and we were carving pumpkins. It was around Halloween, and my hand slipped, and I cut my finger and needed surgery.
What?
So that's what happens. It's Rosie O'Donnell who's in.
I knew it.
Seattle.
Okay,
Thank you.
I knew it.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks,
but yeah,
Aaron.
My parents were not thrilled with that nanny.
But Donna's look in this scene is super cute.
Donna's look is sick.
Yeah, way cute.
Yeah, Donna's look is really cute. Donna's looks to always slay. Again, she doesn't have a lot to say, but she has a lot to bring to the screen. Oh, here's one of her looks from earlier in the day.
Yeah, that one.
This was from when they're first seeing the hot teacher.
Yes, and they are. Oh, they give her shit for.
Oh, yeah, they give her shit. Well, they give her shit because he's flirty. He's like, Brenda, class wouldn't be the same without you. And they're like, oh, he likes you. But they're jealous.
Brenda looks so cute.
Brenda does look cute.
Yeah, but Donna's the one.
That's the thing is last episode, Brenda had no style. Now Brenda is slaying.
Back in, yeah.
It's like anything. We leave. Oh, my God, you're right. Aaron, her bangs are swept away. That's why she looks good here. What's going on?
Oh, she probably got a talking to before.
She did. Yeah.
Or maybe Jenny Garth was like, we can't both have bangs in this scene.
I was thinking that.
The city's not bang enough for the both of us.
So then they get to Donna and Kelly get to the house and they're just going through his underwear drawer and like getting a photo album.
Which is what you should do if you're a good babysitter. The kids go to bed and then you go through stuff.
And then you snoop.
Yeah.
They get caught right away. Although the teacher is not mad. Only the wife is mad.
Well, you can't be a hot teacher without also being a cool
teacher. Exactly.
So you gotta like have the vibe. Yeah. Plus his wife is clearly the uptight one.
Oh, she sucks.
And she looks 15 years older than him.
Yeah, no, she does. Well, because he's Dylan's age.
Yeah. He actually just graduated from Beverly Hills High and he's returning to teach.
Oh, then meanwhile, back at the club, Brandon gets to the club.
Yes.
And he marches in, and it's a fast song playing, but for some reason, Dylan and Cheryl are slow dancing.
Prom dancing,
like at a school dance like
hand
this.
Hand around waist, hand around
No
neck.
one else is dancing like this in the entire club.
No.
They're having a moment. They're falling in love on the dance floor.
And so there's a lot to this scene, but one of my favorite things is, have you ever been in a club scene as an actress or anything where there's because when you're filming, they can't play music, right?
Right.
So everyone's pretending to dance in silence.
Yes.
And in this scene, you can tell.
Oh, you can.
Because no one is on the same beat. No. Everybody's on a different song. And the reason you can tell is because they are slow dancing. So there's this weird metric. Yeah. And then you can see how fucking crazy everybody else is around them. But they're not. No one's on the same beat.
No one's on the same beat or song. Brandon walks in.
Mm-hmm. Well, he has to blow past the security guard because they didn't wait for him.
They didn't wait for him. Mm-mm. They didn't even put him on the list.
Which I think that should have been discussed back at the house.
I do too. I feel like
before you let your girlfriend go off with Dylan.
I know. I think he should have probably been like, hey, why don't we all just go in my ugly gremlin?
Yeah, together.
But
I've been to clubs in my life, and I've never seen someone dance like that ever.
Literally no one. It's like, you guys are in high school, clearly.
You're a boyfriend, girlfriend. Yeah.
You're in high school and it shows.
But I couldn't believe that, again, this is the third time that Dylan has, in my opinion, overstepped a boundary.
Completely.
Hardcore
overstep. And then I think she goes to the bathroom.
Which is my favorite line of the whole thing, is when Brandon confronts them about... Right. What's the dispute when they're dancing?
They're dancing, and Brandon is all
because they got left.
Brandon's mad. He's like, they didn't have my name, and she's like, yeah, they did, Brandon. I swear. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I had to blow past security. Blah 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 blah. And he's all mad.
And then she just defiantly says, "I'm going to the restroom." I thought she was gonna say, "I'm leaving," like I'm out of here, but instead she basically says, "I'll be right back."
Yeah, she still wants to fuck Dylan. Yeah, so she's not gonna leave. And then he confronts Dylan, and Dylan doesn't take it well. Dylan's like, hey, relax, man. It's all chill, whatever. I would never do that, even though it's like you're slow dancing when no one else is slow dancing, dude.
And dancing with the guy's girlfriend when he's not there.
He's not there.
No permission to be asked.
And she was all like goo goo gaga over his Porsche and movie stars. She's very superficial.
Dylan knows what he's doing.
Yes, Dylan knows exactly what he's doing. Then Dylan, they get into a fight, he leaves, and then Brandon, we find out that...
Brandon punches Dylan.
Oh, yes! Because then we find out they've been drinking.
She's been
drinking a blue drink.
Ocean water from Sonic.
Yes, exactly. And then Brandon punches Dylan.
And to which Dylan replies... You need to know who your friends are.
Yeah.
It was something like that, right?
It is something like that. I think I wrote it down. You need to know how your friends are, man. Classic.
And to that, I'm like, well, okay, is my friend the one who is driving off with my girlfriend in a Porsche, slow dancing with her in a club when I'm not looking, inviting her to parties with famous people?
Yeah, like all the signs point to shadiness.
And all three things have happened while Brandon's not there.
Right. But also Dylan says, your girl hit on me tonight in this exchange, which I believe because she's clearly very impressed by Dylan's celebrity connections.
But if Dylan knows that dynamic exists, then why is he swimming in that pool?
No, I'm with you. Dylan's like, it's happening to me, but I have no part in it.
She hit on me.
Dylan's not taking any accountability, and he's not looking at his part to play, which is a huge part of being sober. So clearly he's not sober right now. Any good 12-step, we find out later he's in AA. He's clearly not in AA yet.
I mean.
And Dylan does say, you better figure out who your friends are. That's the line.
You better figure out who your friends are.
So Cheryl then comes. Dylan leaves after he gets punched. Cheryl comes and they get into a fight. She storms off. She's like, I'm leaving. And he's like, you've been drinking. And she's like, we had some drinks together. She leaves. And then he smashes.
Obliterates
the drink.
It's honestly, it's a really sexy butch move.
It is.
He hits it with such force and precision.
And the sound effect, it's just like
killer.
So good.
The Foley. The other thing I want to notice is the sound effects on this show. When anytime the bell rings and the students are up and out of the class, there's so much footwork.
Oh.
There's lots of shoe Foley.
Oh, I love it.
You really need to. They are really animating the sonic atmosphere of this show.
I love it.
It's like overkill.
It's so good.
But yeah, I love when he smashed the glass. It was very satisfying.
Me too. I love it. Oh my God. Also, we didn't say the kid who looks like me, according to my grandmother, says to Brenda, guess what? My daddy has a penis.
Yes.
It's all just very weird.
Yes. No one knows boundaries on this show.
Literally
nobody.
None.
As a kid, I've had kids do that to me though. Have you ever done that? Where a kid just all of a sudden starts talking about like vagina, and you're like, stop.
Yeah, and you're like, please, this is uncomfortable.
There was this Sunday school. The way to get out of church was you'd go watch the Sunday school kids, right, and do activities with them. Yeah. So in the middle of church, you could get up and leave when they did, and that was just the best way to get out of it. I remember. And this kid, we were coloring. Yeah. And this kid, I'm like 12 or 13, and the kid's like whatever, a child, and he looks at me, he goes, sex. I go, what? He goes, sex. And mind you, we're at church in the children's class. Yeah. I myself am a child, but he's a fucking kid. And I immediately, my first thought is like, I'm going to get in trouble because this kid is saying sex. Yeah. Right? So I go, don't ever say that word again. That was all I said. I go, don't ever say that word again.
That joke gets told in Kindergarten Cop the same year as what Aaron's saying. As soon as you started saying that, I thought about boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Okay, yes. Hold on. You just glued a bunch of things together, Aaron, with that one. Okay, so this kid says sex a bunch of times. I say, don't ever say that again. Yeah. So then now we're coloring in awkward silence, and my friend, my age, Nick Foreman, comes and sits down, and now we're all coloring together, and then the kid says it again. He goes, sex. And without blinking, my friend Nick goes, oh, you're 6? I'm 13. That's crazy. And the whole time the kid was just telling me how old he was.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Because he was just trying to make friends with. I know. Meanwhile, I'm the one elevating.
You're like, never tell anyone your age.
What am I? Don't ever tell someone your real age. You're 1 years old until you're 12 years old.
Yeah.
I met someone who yesterday. Someone was talking about someone who met the actress who played the mom in Kindergarten Cop.
Oh.
That happened yesterday.
She's good.
Who the fuck was telling me that? Anyway, go ahead.
So funny.
Anyway, go ahead.
God,
Sorry.
It was all around the same time frame.
Very small world.
So Cheryl hops in a cab.
Gone.
Brandon can't grab her. And then Brandon goes to Dylan's hotel to see if Cheryl's there. Okay. We also
Penelope Ann Miller.
Okay.
Yes,
that is
that bitch.
She was good. Very good.
She was famous back then. That was like a name. Penelope Ann Miller.
Oh, totally. She was in a few things.
Yeah.
Brenda gets back from babysitting and we find out Cheryl has been missing for 3 days. She did not come to visit out of nowhere. She ran away from home.
And they called Carol Potter to tell her.
Of course, everyone calls Carol Potter
because she's Snoopy.
But no wonder she's so stressed out. She has no one to talk to. People exclusively call her with problems.
Right. And the only person that is her friend does not speak English.
Exactly.
Her only friend speaks Spanish exclusively.
Where did Anna go in this episode?
Fired. She's a great cook. They loved her at the end of the last episode, but she never came back.
Okay, so Brandon goes to Dylan's hotel to see if Cheryl's there. Of course she is. Dylan lets her in. He's like, I'm going to leave you guys alone. We find out that Cheryl has a bad home life. She has daddy issues. She has stepdaddy issues.
But Dylan does say, hey, if you need anything like food or bed sheets or towels, he does say, like, make yourself at home. I think he is trying to get them laid.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's just trying to get Brandon laid.
Yeah, everybody is.
And he's wearing the blazer, so he's putting out the signal.
What could go wrong? Yeah, I always want to know who pays Dylan's bill.
I think the parents.
They're just on a tab.
They're just on the tab. It's just never-ending money. Because then later, when he inherits all his dad's money, it's like, I think hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah, man.
Dylan's really rich.
I'm a little happy that you are ahead because then you can, like, talk me off the cliff.
Yes.
Or just the wormhole.
Yes. Yeah. No, I got you.
Okay, so
and I cannot wait. But it's going to, once we get halfway through season 3, I'm going to be, like... We're going to be
new again.
New again. And I can't wait.
So they sort of made up.
Brandon orders a bunch of ice cream, right? Also, Jim still has not had a chance to talk to Brandon about sex.
The sex.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't think he wants to.
No, he doesn't.
He's proud of
like,
his
that's
boy.
my boy.
He's like, go get that strange.
Fucking.
Bro code, boy.
Beat it up.
It's the only way I've seen him try to relate to his son at all. He hasn't tried it, right? That's the only connection I've tried is his immense support of his son's erection.
Yes, it's so true. Okay, so we're almost done with this episode. I love this episode. Okay, so we find out Cheryl has a bad home life. She's troubled. And then we also find out that she didn't lose her virginity to Brandon.
No. And she's real cold about it.
She's so cold.
Very cold.
That's pretty fucked up.
The way she let it happen with Brandon and walked into his fantasy of us both losing it together and only to just drop him like a bad habit.
And then also like to just be like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. Get over it. Like she's so insensitive about it.
And he is unfortunately a sensitive man, which is the worst kind. Is a fucking thoughtful, sensitive straight guy. I hate him.
He is.
But he was clearly blindsided, daunted.
No, he was blindsided and daunted. Okay, so we cut to the final scene where she's packing up. Brandon's wearing a vest.
She's folding up her cot.
She's folding up the cot. She's wearing a scarf as a belt.
Oh, honestly, I was all about that look.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Green shirt, jeans, I was already sold on it. And then when I saw the scarf as a belt.
The scarf belt?
Mega 90s, though.
So 90s. But a little Andrea, and her hair is a little, it's like, right? Because Andrea always wears these big baggy t-shirts, you know?
Totally.
But I just love it's like, stylish, no, not stylish. There are only two
There's
looks.
such a line. It's black or white.
Yeah. Okay, so Cheryl's blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then the shuttle arrives. Oh, daunted equals Dylan haunted. Yes.
Oh my God, okay. Aaron.
Send in your merch ideas, you guys. We're doing merch.
Oh my God. Okay, Dylan plus haunted is fucking daunted.
I love it.
Oh my God, Aaron.
It's
you just
so
blew
good.
my brain. The Penelope Ann Miller, the kindergarten cop, and now this is a witchy day.
Aaron is so on it.
This is a crystal. It's a new moon.
It is
today,
a new moon.
Actually, that's what it is.
Okay, so Cheryl's leaving, and she's like, Brandon, I had to tell you one thing. And then the shuttle is like, beep, beep, and then she's like, I gotta go. And
she doesn't say the one thing.
He chases her down the stairs. He's like, what's the one thing? And she says, Brandon, you're a wonderful lover. Which leads me to believe, okay, so my friend Caroline and I have this game where we just instinctively know when guys go down or not. And we've done it with so many celebrities.
Oh, you can tell if a...
Yeah. Like Martin Short, yes. Steve Martin, no. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
totally.
Channing Tatum, yes. Shawn Mendes, no. You know? Right?
Yeah.
So in this, that makes me feel like Brandon, for sure, yes.
Eats
goes
pussy.
down.
Can
He
I
eats
say that?
pussy.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah, you can.
I'll be
whatever.
the vulgar one, yeah.
No, I'll be the vulgar one.
Yeah. Okay, Brandon, yes.
I think
because he's thoughtful.
He's thoughtful. So I think Brandon, yes. I think Dylan, yes. I think David does because he's
too long. David does it for too long.
David's too into it.
David is, exactly. Yeah.
But Steve, I think, is not. I don't think Steve goes down.
Oh,
I think Steve would go down if he was really into a girl.
Yeah.
But because he has that kind of like bro-y, like machismo.
He'd have to be asked or told.
Yes, exactly. Like he's not the guy that like I think Dylan or Brandon would like really prioritize a woman's pleasure.
Yeah.
You know?
Steve is a pig for the like notch on the belt.
Yes.
For all the dude reasons.
Yes, exactly.
But not necessarily the pig horny reasons.
Yes, which back then I feel like it was very like guys weren't as into like it wasn't as cool to like go to like you wanted to get your dick sucked.
Oh,
but, you know what I mean?
Well, like go figure, last century the emphasis was not on the woman. There's a Friends episode about this.
Right?
And honestly, when I was watching it as a kid, I didn't know what they were talking about. It's an episode where Joey's part of a medical study and he can't come for a week. Have you not seen it? Season 1. Season 1 is the best episode, best season of Friends for my money.
It's so good.
And it's the first season. I think it might be the last episode where all he's doing is like getting the girl off.
Yeah.
Because he can't.
Oh.
And it's opened up his mind to this new level of sex and awareness. But then once he can once he can climax again, he doesn't. It's like the consideration is now lost on him. But last century, it's like women were in real time having an awakening about it being okay for them to get their nut.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that was not a thing that my grandmothers and our mothers were
no.
socially encouraged to even discuss.
No, it was not.
So
but this Brandon, you're a wonderful lover. He goes down.
Yeah, he does.
He goes down. Social justice warrior, Brandon.
That's why he needed that orange juice without the pulp in the morning. He needed he needed to reset his body acidity.
And then we get to my favorite scene, which is him and Jim finally chatting over a game of basketball.
Okay, so wait, when that scene is really funny when right before he goes out to play basketball, because Jason Priestley delivers a very, what was the thing you were gonna say? Like the way he throws the line
like,
out.
What was it?
And then it's a downstairs shot from his perspective.
Yeah.
And so in the background, you just see Shannon Doherty just sitting in the living room chair, just there.
Yeah.
And then after the line is delivered, "You're an excellent lover," or whatever, she does this quirky like, oh, you did. Like that.
You fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous.
But it's this weird, again, like incestuous, or like they're too close.
It reminds me of like friendships I've had with guys where we're very close friends. No line has ever been crossed, but there is that weird underlying will they, won't they?
There's a physical, like when a girl sits on a guy's lap.
Yes.
But there's no sexual nature to their relationship like that.
Yes.
I knew a married man in front of his wife, his adult friend who'd grown up with, she would sit on his lap. I was at a dinner party. I was like, is this real? And my friend was like, they act like this.
Weird.
And the wife is just sitting there. I'm like, she's pissed.
She's pissed.
But they're like, they've known each other longer, so they're like brother, sister. I'm like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very Brenda Brandon.
Yes. No, I relate to that with some of my like guy friends where it was like there was that like, but again, we were not related by blood.
Yeah, again, not related by blood. So the final scene, which is epic.
Jim is just like giving props, asking for details. Jim is like,
he's playing basketball. He's shooting hoops alone.
Yeah, exactly.
By himself.
But he's like, isn't he wearing like a jersey? He's wearing like a tank top. And he has shoulder hair.
Oh no, he has excessive back, shoulder, and neck hair. There's more hair on the back than there is on the front. Are you kidding me? So when you said that Jason and Carol Potter are a lot alike, and Jim and Shannon are a lot alike, I'm like, well, I hope Shannon shaves her back.
Well, it reminds me of me because my dad is Italian, and I did get my back waxed, lasered, everything.
Yeah.
It's still got some hair on it, but you know what?
It's a good thing. Women are hairy.
It's like, what? You don't get this.
Yeah, without
cracking a few hair eggs on your body.
You're not.
You know?
It's mean to not let women be hairy. It's very mean.
That being said, I have lasered everything from the neck down. So I did give in, and I think it's disgusting. But
back hair is the one thing that people really don't have a pass on.
No.
I'm not saying for me, but it's not a pass. But like people are really judgy about that.
I mean, just think that now you can go shave your back now.
Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how fucking impossible that would be to shave your back?
That's why I stopped doing the laser, because you have to shave it first.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, so that is the episode. Brandon and Jim just high-fiving.
Yeah.
Jim trying to get the details on this fucking 16-year-old puss.
Tell me all about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And no concern for the wellness. Is she going home to her parents that she just ran away from? Is she still drinking underage? Are we sure she's actually getting on the plane?
Exactly.
We just put her in a car.
But it literally didn't even drive her to the airport.
No, that's what airport shuttles are for.
Yeah, that's what she says. Yeah. Which, like, to me, she's just going back to Dylan's for all I know.
I mean, yeah, and once an addict, always an addict.
Exactly.
Where she's going straight to the Bellage.
Yeah, she is going to the Bellage. So, okay.
Really fast, though. Yeah. Why did she go to the hotel to Dylan's?
After?
Yeah.
That is weird because they left separately.
Like, why?
I think she probably just went there because I think she probably did want to fuck Dylan.
Yeah, well, she'd already lost it. Who's counting?
Yeah, who's counting? She's lost it twice now. She's 2 times over
counting,
now.
Right?
Yeah.
But she did apologize for it not being special.
No, she did. Yeah, but she did say it was special because I care about you. But yeah, she said, I'm sorry, I wanted it to be special. Yeah.
And that is when I realized what a good actress she is because that was a cringe scene.
Yes.
And she delivered those lines.
She made it not cringe.
Totally.
Yep.
Which is not what I can say for Jason Priestley.
I know. Now, what do you give? I got to go 5 mega burgers. I know every episode I've given 5, but it's just the back hair, the tall teacher.
There's a lot happening in this
Don't feel like you have to go with me. I'm a very easy critic. You're like, bitch, I'm not.
I'm going to give it 2.5.
Okay.
Mega burgers because there were inconsistencies. That hot teacher is not hot.
Yeah, that's true.
I can never get over that. It's like you want me to believe any ounce of this episode, and the core message is that you're falling for this man who is a tall pig.
Yeah.
Short pigs are cute. Tall pigs are a different story.
It's weird.
So yeah, 2.5 mega burgers.
Okay.
Okay, I'll up it to 3 because Donna looked cute.
Donna looked cute, but no lines.
Dialogue.
Literally.
One scene, she literally goes, "Ah."
Yeah.
And I think that's her only line.
So good.
But yeah, 2.5.
I'm glad they brought her back in instead of Kathy, even though I do love Kathy. Like,
I think Kathy was an apparition.
Kathy.
I don't think she's real.
An apparition.
I think she was. Catharician.
A Catharician. Well, this was so fun.
Really fun.
All right.
I'm loving watching this with you.
You guys, I know, I love it.
It's
you guys,
killing me.
and you guys, I know some of you have left comments and stuff. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you want to rewatch with us, Pluto
TV. It's
if you
free.
want the music the way it originally was, email us glitterandgarbage@gmail.com.
It's the unhinged musical version,
which is funny, and there is a place for that because I told you there's an episode in like season 2 where it full on sounds like a Blink-182 knockoff, where that even wasn't a genre at the time.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's what I'm listening to. Okay. Yeah. We need to. Yeah.
We'll get to the bottom of it. But you guys, this was so fun. What did you think of this episode? Should Brandon have held out for Andrea?
Oh, yeah. Or who will lose their virginity next?
Oh.
I mean, there's a way to find out.
I mean, I think it's Brenda, but we shall see.
I'm just surprised Kelly didn't go for the hot teacher because Brenda had it first.
Oh, shit. And on that note, high five. We'll see you guys next time on Into the Spellingverse. Bye.
Bye.